Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And so we're going to start doing sketchbook tours. I have done sketchbook tours back in the day on my other YouTube channel, but I kind of want to revisit all of that for this channel and kind of take you through different, sections of years where I was, obviously drawing and doing these sketchbooks. So the ones we're going to be covering here are going to be essentially from starting somewhere around maybe like 2012 all the way to sort of the very beginning of 2017. So you're going to see sort of my art progression through those years. And so we're going to start off with this small one, move on to this one, then that one, and then lastly this Canson one. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this. All right, starting off with this very tiny Strathmore drawing medium, 4x6. And so already we're jumping into some really old attempts at, I guess, a comic. So obviously this was like the early days of when I was drawing anime style. And at this point, I would sign it with my initials like I do now, except I didn't add the year on any of these. So again, I'm guesstimating that these were around maybe like 2012 or earlier than that by like 1 or 2 years. Because definitely... this was the time period, obviously, where I was very into the anime series and manga series called Ciarra by Peach Pit. I still love this series. I need to go back and reread all the volumes because I have the whole collection, and you're going to see quite a bit of that. A little bit of trying to attempt to draw this. Obviously, you can see with these, there are issues with proportion, even though we're doing something like the anime style, which is very... has unrealistic proportions, but even in that situation, there still needs to be some, symmetry and stuff that makes sense. Again, we're still doing some Ciarra related stuff. Some other random doodles. Again, these are not great, but I wanted to show these so that you guys can see the progressions or the journey that I've gone through to get to this point. I think I was trying to make up some sort of original characters here. And this is, I was trying to copy the main character. I can't remember her name, but from a series, I think it's called like Monster Lover or something. I can't remember what the manga was called, but yeah, if you know, you know. I'm not getting into that. This is also from another one of my favorite early series when I started getting to anime, which is how I know this is probably, 2000, it could even be as early as like 2009, 2010. But this is Anju or Anja. I can't remember how to pronounce it exactly, but from Chibi Vampire. This is her, Karen's, or little sister. So, God, my brain was like not working. This was, again, I was very proud of this one at the time. And honestly, it's not that bad. I was definitely copying some sort of artwork, that anime artwork I found on the internet, which is most of this time frame. I can't, honestly, I think I was looking at some sort of reference for this one, but I kind of made it my own, which is how I started learning how to draw to begin with. Was I looked at artwork that I really liked and worked on making my own. This one is definitely original attempt at a chibi. And also an original attempt at some sort of mermaid situation here. Because obviously another early anime series I loved was Mermaid Melody. And of course, Hatsune Miku, Vocaloid. I was really, really big into this for a couple years. Again, more Ciarra fan art. That's Daya. And this is also from a manga series. I cannot remember the name, but it was also a yaoi series, if I remember right. Cannot for the life of me recall what the name is for that. Again, more Amu, Peach Pit, Ciarra stuff. I think that's like the cover of volume 7. So I was trying to, obviously copy it, emulate it. At this point in time, I never really traced anything. I think there was only like 3 times I ever traced anything, and those will not be in any of these sketchbooks. I think this is an attempt at, it's not L, who was his, like, I don't even know if it was a real character or like a fan-made one of like a psycho version of Elle. We have a little bit, I think, of Sailor Moon attempted. Again, more Vocaloid. Random something that this was supposed to be. Some more Ciarra stuff. Crimson Shell. I was obviously looking and like taking notes about manga I wanted. Don't even know what I was trying to do there. Which way are we going? This way. Another one, I was definitely looking at Hatsune Miku for this one. No idea what I was trying to go for there. Again, you're just going to see a lot of these really bad attempts at a face. I do know that is from the manga Blackbird. Let's see, which way are we going? We are going this way. Something halfway decent. I was also at this time very into Inuyasha, so obviously had to attempt Inuyasha. He came out pretty alright. Kagome though, Kagome looking a little silly. I think I was looking at Black Rock Shooter, trying to attempt to draw that, did not come out well. Again, some more attempts at something original, I think. Also, same here. Again, I was doing a lot of fan art around this time. No idea. Also, no idea. Sorry that I'm like twisting this around a lot, but I was drawing on both sides of the paper at the time. Again, attempting at something original and could not draw hands, so we do not show the hands. This is also from Ciarra. This is, I can't remember her name right now, but this is like Icto's sister. Stepsister? I don't know. I can't remember. This one is probably the one I was, at the time, was the most proud of because it came out pretty good. This is from a manga called Anima Plus. It was a really interesting manga. If you've ever read that, definitely I highly recommend it. I read the whole entire thing and I loved it. And of course, another Ciarra. That's not too bad. And lastly, we have whatever that was supposed to be. Very, very rough stuff. And that's just like what all of this is going to be. Random doodles on the back. But now we're going to move into our next sketchbook. This sketchbook is much bigger, so we'll see how maneuvering this one is. But yeah, we're going to have a lot of rough... I was trying to do something here, some kind of like fashion illustrations. This was something that I was... So, The Great Escape of the Fluffies. This was a time period when I sketched these, and I was thinking about this, was like, I was playing a lot of like app games, like Angry Birds. There was this one with like this red bouncy ball that it was a platformer, you know, Plants vs. Zombies. So I had this idea of like, I was going to get into like vector art at some point. And then I was like, oh, it'd be cool to create like some sort of like app game. And so this was kind of what this idea was. And each one of these little fluffy ball things was going to have different powers or whatnot that would help you throughout the game. But then I think I was trying to draw some sort of, this was like a scientist, because that's like what the story was here, was like a scientist created these little fuzzy monsters and whatnot, and maybe it was like escape the lab kind of situation. Was heavily inspired by this little like red bouncy ball game that I was playing at the time. So I think how I'm going to do this is I'm going to show it one side, and then we're going to flip it around and show the other one going backwards, because there's artwork on each side here, but obviously trying to do some sort of studies. I was really, really proud of these little eyes here. Back in 2013, they were very cute. I think I was looking at some sort of like tutorial on how to do these, but now these were, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here so we can get a little bit closer. So these were some original characters at the time that I started, because there was definitely a number of like zombie series that I was into. So this character was going to be named Yuki, and this one was Kaito. And yeah, he was a zombie. I don't know if like Warm Bodies was out around this time or not, but yeah. Rough, apocalyptic idea that I was going to draw and then never finished. We're going to have... This was a cute little mermaid. I was going to be in like this field of like grassy seaweed. Again, 2013. Obviously, I never finished, but she was captivated by this random boot floating in the water. But yeah, never finished it. Great. This one's upside down, but This was during a brief time where I was starting to get into like My Little Pony, and I wanted to draw a humanized anime version of Fluttershy. Again, 2012 we're looking at right there. This is, I don't know, I was trying to come up with some kind of character. I feel like she was definitely influenced by Thalia from Percy Jackson. Some sort of thing. I like inked this, and then I was going to go back and I was going to color it, but then I messed up the coloring because I did not know how to properly do like some slightly like tan, darker skin tones at the time. So yeah, I'm trying to get the camera to work a little bit better here. This was 2014. I don't know, some random thing. This was a sketch of a mermaid and an angel that I clearly never finished back from 2013. So this page, it's kind of hard to tell because obviously you can see what's on the other side that I colored, but this was a map at the time. Again, talking like 2013, 2012, I was really big into doing this RPing chat with some online friends, and it was a zombie apocalypse story, and so we had a certain arc of the story that we were staying in this house, and so this was like the layout of it, and everybody had their own room or something. But yeah, speaking of RP stories, this was from a different RP session that I had online at the time, and so this was a little character that was my character that I was playing at the time, a Ciarra. Yeah, she was like a spirit sprite or something. I feel like I should redraw and bring back this character a little bit because I think I've only really drawn it the once, but I think she's kind of cute. I think I could do some fun stuff with this now. And now we're getting into so during this time frame, I was on Amino a lot. I was back on Amino when there was only an individual apps for like specific themes. So obviously there was an anime separate app, there was books, there was writing. And then obviously throughout the years, like they condensed it all down into one app that you could access all these different communities in. But regardless, back in the day, I was really big on Amino. And at this point, I was taking requests. I asked people like, hey, give me anime characters or whatnot, and I will do little doodles and draw, you know, as a way to sort of practice and learn. Can't remember who that was. That one I was pretty proud of because I thought it came out cute. Some other little stuff. This was, I think I was drawing Voicloid maybe at this time. So that's kind of like a Voicloid character. Obviously, this is especially the time frame where I was taking requests. Obviously, Naruto. Can't remember what this is from. I know what this is from, but I can't think of the name right now. Also kind of know what that's from, but I can't remember the name. This was from Amnesia. God, I hate that series so much. Obviously, we have a little Hatsune Miku. So, we also have this random sketch. I feel like I did this a lot later on, and this was like an exercise to draw like a kid or something from like some sort of class I was doing. So, weird random doodles. Testing out stuff. This is definitely from later on, and I came back and I was sketching in here. See, that might be maybe that is still 2013, yeah. So obviously trying to do Deadpool, looking at big muscles. Okay, so this is a special one. So these are two of my original characters, Scully and Rex, and I came up with these. God, it was around this time or maybe a year before, so maybe like 2012, 2011. And it started with this interesting creature that I doodled after seeing the Tim Burton exhibition in LA at the LA Art Museum. And I came back from that and I was definitely very inspired. So I doodled this creepy little creature. And I was like, this creepy little creature needs a buddy. And so I created Scully. And so she's like the main character of this world in this story. And there's other characters that I've added in. But in fact, speaking of, that is the first original time that I doodled this character. After coming back from the art museum, At my grandfather's house, he had like a random sticky note, and so I doodled this with a cheap pen. And so from that, I stuck it in here and started designing Scully to go along with Rex. It's upside down, but random start of something that didn't really go further than that. I don't know what I was going for here, what I was looking at. I feel like this was like a vampire character of some sort. That's about all I got to say on that. Then we have a fairy that I obviously took the time to color in to some degree, and it's not very good. Here we have a necklace design, because I was in a phase where I was like, I'm going to design jewelry. And so this was a piece that I was thinking about. All right, we're going to flip around the sketchbook so you can see the other side. I also stuck some Disney stickers in there. But here is a piece that was probably one of the last things that one of the early things I put in here, because this is 2012 when I did this. I was trying to do this whole scene with like this zombie girl in a Japanese school. Yeah. Then we have this very sad attempt at a werewolf. Not good. We obviously have the time frame where I started watching Supernatural and my attempt to draw Castiel. Again, not very good. We have this mess of a Crossroads demon, 2012. It's a lot. I feel like this could be potentially a really fun piece to try to redraw now with the skills I have, but we'll see. I'm trying to do some sort of scary cat woman face thing. Now these little doodles, so obviously we have this little eye and like swirls, and down here from 2013 we have this little ladybug with a lantern. This was actually one of the early things that I posted on Vine as well as on my Instagram, because I started my Instagram in 2012. So I still have a video of this that I made it with Vine, and then I reposted it on both platforms, doing it early back before it became the whole thing that you had to do. But yeah, I was pretty proud of her. I thought she was pretty cute. I still think she's pretty cute. We have some very sad attempts at like life drawing, body shapes. Again, back at that theme of, I was going to design jewelry. And that was a sketch and an idea. I actually did kind of make something close to this. Now we're jumping back into that time frame where I was like, oh yeah, I'm doing all these requests for random people on the internet through Amino to draw these characters. I don't remember what any of these were. What any of the base. I almost want to say Haruki was an example for that one, but honestly I can't remember. These were again attempt at original characters. Was like a Little Red Riding Hood situation. Didn't go any further than that. We have an attempt to draw my closet at the time. Tempting life drawing, which was not very good at that time. More just awful stuff. I think this was a very weird attempt at a self-portrait. Not very good. Now this is something I think I sketched in here like later on, and I was trying to do, there was an image of Yuki from Vampire Night, but it was in the style of, what is that Vocaloid song? I can't remember the Vocaloid song right now, but that's like what I was trying to copy, was like a style of that. Combining those two elements, because I was very big into Vampire Night around this time as well. So these are actually sketches based on Vampire Kisses, the manga version of it, which is how I discovered Rem. If I remember right, that's the artist name who did that. Really liked her work. Here was a little attempt at kind of like a Vocaloid chibi. Just a little random head. Here is a creepy piece that I was going to do, where it was like a fairy circle and this weird kind of fey creature that was going to be in here. It was going to be very dramatic piece that I wanted to color at the time, but that never happened. Some more random characters I think I was trying to create, and that just never went anywhere. A combination of mermaid and vampiric wings. More random face. Another little random character. I was trying to do like a different style with this one. I still think she's kind of cute. I like her hair. An attempt at a rose. 2013 me, attempt at a rose. I want to say I've gotten a little bit better than this, but you guys can tell me. So this was a sketch, 2014, that I absolutely loved. I was playing with these like little ink pens, and I loved how this one came out. I think she's very pretty. I still like it. Oh my god. I was obsessed, okay? Obviously, more Sugar Ciarra. Ecto and Amu at the time were like my obsessions. And if I'm pronouncing any names wrong, forgive me. But yeah, I was obsessed with these two. Even though, don't question the relationship. Don't look at their ages, okay? Let's not talk about that part, all right? We're not going to talk about that part. It's Japan, a little bit different. Still not politically correct, but whatever. Obviously, I was getting into Black Butler around this time as well. An attempt at a brooch. I think this would be pretty. I would like to see that made. I feel like I was looking at something. I don't know what. I feel like somebody's going to recognize this anime character somewhere. Oh, God. That's a horse. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Back to personal requests off Amino. Again, we got Haruhi. We have, oh God, what is her name? Alice from Pandora Hearts, which was the series I was also very into at the time. Same with, we got Little Chibi Death the Kid from a Soul Eater. And then this was a special one because I remember this was somebody's OC, like their self-insert OC that they wanted to see, and like they were very into L from Death Note, and so they wanted to see them together. And so I did this funny little scene. We have, okay, there's some ones right here that I'm pretty proud of. This one of Len from Voicloid, I was very proud of how that one came out. This is, I can't remember her name, but it's from Vampire Dance? Is that what it's called? I can't remember the name of the anime or the manga. We also have another little Len, and oh god, why am I forgetting her name? Wow, I feel like a bad Voicloid fan that I'm forgetting her name. But we also have Undertaker. Also, some ones I'm proud of here. We have Angel Beats, main characters. Don't ask me what their names are because I can't remember. We have, oh god, what is his name? Naru? I can't remember his name, but obviously main character from Fairy Tail. And I was so proud of this Sebastian right here. And then we have a really bad chibi attempt at, what was the series called? Was it called Chobits or something like that? It's like the android girlfriend situation. Yeah. There's our Vampire Knight. We got a Yuki right there. And again, this is from some sort of video game property. I can't, like, it was in, like, these characters are from, like, that music video for, Bad Apple. If you know, you know. I was also very proud of this one. Again, why can't I remember her name right now? I'm going to remember after this and be very mad at myself. And, of course, as I said, I was obsessed. We have Amu, and we have Icto. The whole reason how I even got into this series was such a chance happening. It essentially goes that I saw a picture of him, and he's a cat boy, and I was like, there's male cat boys? Because at this time, I'd only seen, like, in the anime sphere of things, it was always cat girls, never a cat boy, and I was like, who is this character? I must find them. It was off an app that, like, gave you random anime photos, and yeah, that app definitely does not exist anymore. So here's another special. As you remember, I talked about that map of the house. So early on when I was doing this RP with everybody, these were everybody's characters. Mine was this one because I'm not very creative with my name. So yeah, that was like little portraits of everybody and what their characters looked like as described in the RP. This is a piece that I really liked at the time. And again, you can see that I did the initial sketch back in 2013, but I didn't color it until 2014. This was something I used to do where it's like, if I started it at one point, then I finished at another, I would include that in there. I don't really do that anymore because I try to finish it in the same year. But yeah, this little like mermaid siren situation. I was really proud of that hand. Really, really bad figure. Some more of my obsession with Blackbird, that manga. So these were sketches based off, you know, images from the manga. Not very good ones. My attempts, I mean. Here again, another like Little Red Riding Hood werewolf situation. Did not go further than that. And this is our last little sketch in here, which was this, again, another random anime girl that I think I started. This was when I first got, I think, Copic markers. And it was a really basic set. And so these were the colors I had to work with. And clearly I did not know how to use them at this point. But yeah, that's that sketchbook. So we're going to go ahead and move into the next one. All right, here's our third, second to last sketchbook for this video. And obviously we have this wave cover on here. I think I got this from Barnes & Noble. So let me see which way. We actually are starting the right direction. Again, another pretty large sketchbook. So this is 2013 figure. I mean, I kind of like the gesture that's going on here, but not the greatest. And this is going to be, unfortunately, another situation where I'm going to have to go one direction, and then I'm going to have to show you guys the other direction. This is also a sketchbook where I think I glued in a bunch of other stuff that I was working on later on, just to fill in empty space. We have some hands here. I like that hand. They're not perfect, but it was a pretty good attempt at the time. Some different little faces. I like most of these. I think that one was my favorite one at the time. And it's funny because we have this insert of this weird 2016 one. And if you recall from that last sketchbook, here are those two like original characters that I was going to do. One of which is a zombie, Kaito, and the other is a normal human girl, Yuki. Yeah, again, you will not see these ones again. If you guys want me to maybe redraw these characters now, definitely let me know. But something I would say, I have not completely moved out of the phase of being obsessed with the pigtails with the pink hair, because I have a different character from more recent times that has this exact hair. Random doodles. I kind of like this vibe here of that one. We have my character Scully. Again, I was trying to do like an active shot with her. Oh, so this was something I was obsessed with a little bit, but I had it in my head, but I never really got to draw it very much. But I was going to do these little cute characters that were fruits or vegetables. This was from a story that I was starting called Poseidon's Daughter. I don't know if I have any of that written down somewhere. I think I do. I don't remember what the plot was at all. But this was a time frame where I was also doing a lot of writing fan fiction online. I was also doing my own stories on Wattpad and stuff, my original ones. So this is an interesting time frame. But anyway, so this was going to be a blood orange little comic. He goes into a box of costumes and he becomes a little vampire blood orange because blood orange. And then there was his friend who was a ghost pepper and dressed up like a ghost. I actually did like paint these in one of my other sketchbooks that is not quite done yet. This was going to be a sketch that was like this really futuristic steampunk sci-fi city and never went further than this. I still like the idea, but at the time where I had this idea, I did not have the skills to execute it at all. This was another one where I had this really interesting idea of like this vulture lady in this kind of disgusting scene of rotting corpses. But again, did not have the skills at the time to really execute this. Do I think I could do it now? Probably. An attempt to draw a mountain lion, 2014. It's all right. This was a thumbnail for an idea that I never actually finished. Attempt at a mermaid, 2014. I really liked this girl. I thought she was really cute. Like a little fox girl with this little outfit. Self-censoring back then. I wasn't at the point yet where I was like confident in like, let's just show it. This was actually a redraw of a very, very old chibi that I designed on like a loose scrap of paper from a couple years before this. And I was trying to redraw it. and never finished it. These are some attempts at like some fae-like creatures. I love this one. Because I love drawing the tail, this like weird little mermaid. I want to say, again, I just made the statement like, oh, I was kind of hiding things. This was like a brief moment where I was like, I'm not going to hide it. And I want to say Instagram flagged this drawing and tried to delete it because of this. Like, you can't even tell anything with this. It's not at all accurate. Again, I was in a phase with like this weird like little chibi style, and this was like a little queen. I mean, she's kind of cute. Obviously, I was using my Copic markers. This was a little drawing that's actually based off some little toys that I have that are like Fairytopia. Like they had these little mermaid mini sets, and so there was a green mermaid and a yellow mermaid, and I was kind of like, that's where I got this idea. Failed attempts at something. No idea. Another little chibi. This was 2015. So this is actually something from like 2022, 2023 that I, again, because sometimes with these sketchbooks, if there's like blank pages, I'll go back and I'll fill them. So this is from much later on in the future where I was like trying to come up with this idea, work out some ideas for a commission that I was doing at the time. In fact, this is what the final idea for the commission was. And then I took this into like Clip Studio Paint and I colored it digitally. But yeah, that was a commission I did. So this is from, again, much further on than what the rest of these are. I was looking at a tutorial from Stephanie Law, because I have a couple of the books, and so I kind of built on it. So this is a little bit later on than most of the other sketches in here. 2014, I think I was doing a 3-marker challenge here that never saw the light of day on the internet. Again, we're going into much later on in the future me coming back and filling empty pages with some life drawing stuff. So this is definitely after a time frame of like I was in art school or I was doing my art program in college. I probably at this point I finished that, came back and filled these pages. So this is Misaki from, what is it? Maid-sama? But yeah. I saw recently somebody saying that this is an anime that didn't age well. I can't remember why, but somebody can maybe educate me in the comments. Random kind of like life tree thing. I don't even know. Again, more figure drawing stuff that I filled in here. More of that. Don't even know what this is. Feel like that is maybe, what's his name? Ren. Oh, I just remembered her name. Her name was Ren. Damn it, Len and Ren. Anyway, a little bit of like a toothless moment here. Blue Exorcist. I think I was looking at that. Isn't his name Ren? I think it is. Random. This was again for that commission idea. I think this was a little bit later on too. This like chibi style. I actually still like this sketch, but I never actually finished coloring it or doing anything with it. More attempts at like figure drawing from back in like 2023. I don't know what this is. It's working out some sort of comic page. So this was an attempt at a new sketch. I can't remember when I did this for technically 2 of my OCs that I've only really drawn once, and that is olive and water. So it's olive oil and water was the theme for those drawings. I actually turned them into stickers. Random. Obviously didn't like that. I think this was a rough thumbnail sketch for a draw this in your style. So this was much later on in the future. More figure drawing. Also more figure drawing. So here are some little rough sketches, and I still really want to do this illustration. This has been stuck in my head for literal years, but this is my character Astra, and I was like designing her outfit I need to draw her. I've been working on maybe a character sheet for her. More figure drawing. Also more figure drawing. I think, so these were actually thumbnails for a video that lives over on my other channel that I did where I was using the tarot to design, like letting the tarot decide what I was going to draw. This was an idea that I saw from somebody else on YouTube, and I was like, oh, I'd love to try that, so I did that. And so it's like you had to do like 3 cards. One was like the theme, the vibe. One was what the characters were going to be, and one was the environment. So you pull those 3 cards to do that. I want to do this idea again here on this channel. Maybe incorporate some oracle cards. Be a fun way to show like my tarot collection here on this channel as well. So this was a rough start of like a unicorn woman that I did eventually end up drawing, and it was this one. I still, like the actual painting, I'm very iffy about how I like it, but I really like the sketch itself. Back to some figure drawing. This is a 5-minute one. 2 minutes. 1 minute. 5 minutes. 2 minutes. 1 minute. 5 minutes. 2 minutes. Another 2-minute one. And I think this is our last page here. So this is something that I sketched somewhere else and then I glued it down in here. Again, this is like from 2023 where I was thumbnailing. I was part of a collab, a Christmas collab where everybody included one of their OCs and then did a portion of a story. And so I chose like the first like 3 panels for this little comic with one of my original characters, Rowan. So that's what these thumbnails are for. But yeah, that is the end of this particular sketchbook. Again, very interesting because it's like there's a large portion of stuff here from like live drawing from like 2023 and just mixed in here. But we're going to move into our final sketchbook. For our final sketchbook, we're moving into a very fun sketchbook. I particularly have a very warm place in my heart for these particular sketchbooks, these Canson ones, these mixed media ones, because I did a lot of really fun sketches that I have very fond memories of in these ones. So luckily it opens this way. Starting off with some, again, we got a 2014 one. Actually, all 3 of these are 2014. Again, trying to play around with these little chibi ideas. Let me see if I can adjust the camera just a little bit. The camera is adjusted. Hopefully my bookshelf is not breaking. But let's go ahead and get into this. So, again, very random doodles. Again, a little Red Riding Hood kind of chibi idea. I love these, okay? And I have like a 5th one that's later on, but all of these were going to be like these little chibi mermaids that are based off different gemstones. So we have Peridot, we have Amethyst, which was the first one, Aquamarine, which is my birthstone, and then Citrine. I loved these. Like at the time, I was so proud of these. Obviously, I used like colored pencils and ink pens. I don't know what this is from, but I think I don't know if I was copying a photo that I took. But yeah, trying to do like a little ink sketch of the forest. Again, at this time, you know, I was pretty brave. I was just doing straight pen to paper. I need to try doing this again. 2014, random girl with an umbrella. This was a start of a sketch for an idea that was a Hatsune Miku related fan art that never saw the light of day, that never went further than that. We have a 2015 random angel that is also not very good. Oh god. So again, this is another one, 2014. Another kind of random attempt at a kind of self-portrait that's very stylized. I was always wearing hoodies. Not much has changed. I don't know what this is. Oh, you know what? Now I do kind of know what this is. This is definitely based off when me and my family moved into one of our house, like our most recent house. We only lived in 2 different houses here in the state that I'm in now. But in the backyard, the previous owners had put these little like base pieces onto the tree. And so that was what I was trying to sketch. So that's funny. And I did it again. I was trying to do like this doll jointed style with like characters. Didn't go further than that. This was an idea that I was playing around with for a clothing tag at the time. This was also in that same vein of like a clothing tag idea. Another one. Of course, some Deadpool fan art. Obviously, I got into Deadpool around this time. And this was, I think I was taking a request of somebody who was like, draw a hawk girl. And this is as far as I got. And I love these. Okay, this was around the time where I was obsessed with Mermaid World. It was an app game. A lot of the artwork was done by this artist right here. I think it's Leanne He. And so, yeah, she did a lot of the initial artwork for the Mermaid World game. And so that's what I was obsessed with. And so I was trying to, like, again, emulate that style with these, like, little tiny mermaid characters. We have, like, a little kind of vampire-looking girl. It was potentially going to be an OC, but that never got far. So this is when I started. This is actually the first one I ever did. I've only done a couple of these over the years, but I wanted to do it as like a whole series. But actually, it has a name now. But yes, I was going to do little like lifestyle or slice of life comics of like myself. This was 2016. And it does have a name. I actually going to do it. And I've posted them before on like Instagram and whatnot. But yeah, this was the very first one I did. Time to write this paper. Nope. Not gonna happen. I still love this. So this is another situation where I originally sketched it in 2014, but then it wasn't until 2016 that I colored it, which is very obvious because like the 2014 versus the 2016 coloring skills has definitely gone up. Because this is also when I started going to college and like 2016, 2015. So I was a little bit better at drawing. Not by much, but a little bit. Again, 2015, 2016. This like fan elf warrior girl thing. And then here it is. I still love these. This is the 5th mermaid one. She was like kind of the leader of the little group. And it's Diamond, of course. She is so cute. I love how I colored this. Like, I love the colors. They're so cute. And this was colored pencil, I think. No, I did use a little bit of Cocoa marker, but she's so cute. I don't know. Let me know if you want me to revive this little series and like redo these. I don't know if they'd be as cute. I don't know. You know, I was definitely braver at this time frame where I was like doing more adventurous compositions and like body shapes and trying to do like foreshortening here, which not great, but it's an attempt. Some dancing character. Actually, I think this was a rough, like trying to figure out the body shapes for an idea that I was maybe going to attempt at my for my printmaking class. I love these two. And her too. This is actually so So this was like a random, this was definitely an amino thing. I think somebody gave me like some keywords, and then I was supposed to create a character off that. So they gave me coffee, cool, and sparkle. So I created Lizzie, age 16, likes coffee, cooking, and travel, dislikes fast food and hot weather, dream to become a chef. She sounds like an Instagram influencer or a Pinterest influencer or something, but she's kind of cute. But this was again, somebody gave me some keywords of candles, peach, and snow, and I created Dritha, who is now like one of my OCs because I have drawn her before a little bit, but I love her. I love how this style came out. She's so pretty. Again, I think this is based, like I drew something else that had a bunch of like flowers, and then I was going to do like a sister piece to it, and then it never happened. This was definitely a 3-marker challenge from 2015. I don't think this ever saw the light of day. Oh God, I used to play this app game called Dragon Blaze, and I had just finished the first, like, back when this game first came out. I started playing it very early on. I think it still exists, but I had just finished like the full story campaign of it, and so this was like I was just gonna draw like my little like player character, and obviously that didn't, because like she just took the throne, she got the crown, all that. But yeah, I never did anything more with that. This was 2016, and we had some zombie mermaids. I kind of like this piece. I think it's interesting. The colors are interesting. Maybe in the future this could be an interesting redraw. CL from Black Butler doing this different style. That comes back to that weird little thumbnail that I did in one of the previous sketchbooks I just showed you. Some weird eyes, which actually I do know where that ends up. Here's like a pretty princess girl thing. This was a weird idea. I can't remember how I came up with this idea, but yeah, there it is. This is from like an open model night or something at my school. See, 2016 in like October, drew this. I like how I did it. I like the colors that I used. It's interesting. Again, from that same open model night. So somebody at my school, at my college, was like talking about a tattoo design, and so I was like doodling something for them for a tattoo design. No idea if they ever got it. Probably not. An Alice kind of looking character. Didn't go any further with that. Don't know what I was doing with these two, but there they are. I love this. So I was like doing a challenge where I only used cool toned colors, and so I did this mermaid, and I do a sister mermaid to this. I don't think it's in this sketchbook, but I could be wrong. But it might be in a future one to come. But yeah, that was 2017. Another like character, kind of like her style, kind of like her outfit. This one. So yeah, this is like So yeah, I'll go back, but that's like. This is essentially the last page of this sketchbook, but this obviously is Beauty and the Beast. And when I tell you, this was probably one at the time when I was posting on my other Instagram account. This one got so many likes, like it was crazy for me at the time. Like it was a crazy amount of likes and views for this particular sketch. And again, in all fairness, I still like it. I think it's cute. This is obviously like watercolor, ink pen. I think it's still cute. But yeah, that is the sketchbook. And again, this was 2017. So that is a couple years of growth and change in drawing skill. So if you guys enjoyed this rather lengthy sketchbook tour, let me know in the comments. And I will be continuing to do this with the next set, which will also be kind of like 2000s. We'll kind of jump back a little bit from like 2016 to definitely going into 2018, which you'll see a vast difference in my art skill from those years, like very obvious change. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if there's any pieces in these sketchbooks that you would love to see me redraw. Let me know, and also tell me which ones were your favorite. And remember to check out all my links as always, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.